to call the roll?
Yes. Chairperson McGraw is here. Supervisor Syed.
Good morning, everyone.
Matt Yetto. Ismat Alam.
Good morning.
Morning. Brian Backus.
Good morning.
Stan Faminsky.
Good morning.
Paul Briggs. Paul Briggs.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Josh Hawley.
Present.
Michelle Martinelli. Elena Finnan. Rosemary Jackwith. Bill McPartlin. John Delarada. Laura Robertson.
I'm here, Kathy.
Janet Wynn. Ray Smith.
Present.
Pete Rakovica.
He's also present, has no microphone.
Okay. Diane Piercy. Seth Goldstein. And
Here.
Chief Wall. Okay. We're all set.
Great. Thank you very much, Kathy, and thank you everyone who is joining us from near and perhaps very far and warmer places than snowy Niskayuna. But thank you all. First up is the minutes to the last meeting. Does anybody have any edits or corrections? Hearing none, I will make a motion to accept the minutes from the March meeting. Do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Josh Hawley. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you all, everyone. Okay, as you heard, Matt Yetto is not here with us. He's replaced ably by Josh Hawley, who is going to help me run the meeting today. So Josh, take it away.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we'll do our rundown through the list. First item on the agenda is our water and sewer COVID-19 response. We're continuing to follow all protocols that we have in place. Only thing that has changed is we're beginning to gear up for home entry for certain repairs like water meters and such. So we're working through that to be able to enter homes again, reevaluating that process. But otherwise, nothing new to report under our COVID-19 response. Next item is attorney items. Briggs, do you want to go through?
Yes, on the Myers petition for Whitmire Drive, I spoke to one of the residents. I owe him an answer. They're still undecided whether they're going to go forward. Pierce Road, that's moving forward. We have a public hearing. The city water bill, we're still waiting to hear from the city of Schenectady on that. Ingersoll Home, Josh.
Yeah, I have an update. I spoke with the contractor yesterday. They have a delay. There was a conflict with design of the elevation of the invert of the sewer leaving the building. So they need a different structure. So they had to send the structure that they had purchased back to be modified to meet the elevation of the invert leaving the building. So that's delayed a little while. I'm waiting for a response on exactly how long. So I should get that shortly, but they are under a delay right now.
And we're working on the town code updates regarding discharges to sewers.
That's an ongoing effort, right? And we won't be ready for resolution this month.
Right.
No.
Well, we have a few town code updates, right? And we're working with Laura to get those done, some from Michelle and others.
Yes.
Okay, great. I just wanted to go back up. At what point do we make a decision on the Whitmire Drive sewer extension that it's just not going to happen? I mean, it's been an agenda item for, I don't know, 3 years now.
So they're going to probably have a decision within the next 1 or 2 months about whether they're going to have sufficient number of residents to meet the criteria to go forward.
Okay, great. Thank you. I just want to make sure we're communicating with them regularly and they don't feel like we've dropped the ball on them. So if they are ready to move forward, I want to be able to do that. But if they're not, I think, we'll just
they're not yet.
So, okay, great. Water and sewer maintenance, Josh?
Yes, so we have a vacancy for, with our water sewer crew. So we are accepting applications to fill, that position, either a maintenance worker or a water sewer maintenance worker, depending on the applicant's qualifications. Hydrant flushing will begin on April 5th. We have posted on the website the zones that will be flushed and the dates. So that's all on the website for anybody who is interested and wants to know, when their zone will be flushed. And then signing the closeout of the Mohawk Road water main project. So we are going through the punch list items on that. There is still some, we still are pending about $300,000 of invoice payment request from that project. But the work is substantially complete. So it's just some minor landscaping things like that they're finishing up.
I just wanted to thank you and Kathy for getting the map set up. So on the flushing, what we have done is there's a list online. So every street is listed out into what zone you are. And then there's a map of zones. So Kathy and Josh, thank you very much for moving forward on that so quickly yesterday.
Yes, of course. Next item is the wastewater treatment plant. We are continuing to work with DEC on the high strength waste program. There have been a couple of emails exchanged with DEC, Jamie Malcolm at DEC, from our engineer at BNL. So that's an ongoing process. We don't have anything new, but there have been recent email exchanges. So it's still in motion, but nothing new to report at this time.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Sludge disposal options. So we wanted to have a little more, a few more options available so we don't get into a jam. Currently, we're sending stuff to Albany landfill. So we got an estimate from Colony, or a quote, for 105 per ton. We pay 88 at Albany. So Albany would remain our primary, but I would like to set up a contract to go to Colony as needed, just to have that redundancy built in, so we have a place to dispose of our sludge if we get into a pinch. So we're hoping to pass a resolution to enter a contract with Colony on an as needed basis, no commitment.
Great, thank you.
Water treatment plants, a few items there. They're in need of a new vehicle. The previous vehicle is no longer in service, so they're down a vehicle at the plant right now. So we have a mini bid pending for Jeep Latitude. We are out to bid currently for well redevelopment. That opening will be on April 13th. To move forward with that, that's to improve the function and the recharge of our wells. It helps improve our production capacity from the plant. So that's a very important task that we do periodically for maintenance. And then we have a pending project, hopefully this season, to do some pretty significant upgrades to the plant, which involve some electrical upgrades. And 3 of the pump house roofs are in pretty poor condition and leaking. So that's concerned with putting brand new electrical equipment inside those roofs and damaging brand new electrical equipment. So we think it's a good idea to repair those roofs to make sure there's a nice, safe, dry environment for the new equipment. We do have 2 quotes, the cheapest of which was $22,000 and $22,200 to repair all 3 roofs. So we're going to hopefully move forward with that if there's no objections, and go through our procurement process.
Great.
Utility billing, spring utility bills will be sent out April 9th. Due date is May 25th for those.
And is Diane all set? Is Christine and Diane talking and making sure that she's all set for that?
To the best of my knowledge, I can check to make sure that there is the communication going on there. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Of course. Fourth quarter corporate reconciliation is needed, a resolution for that. And we have our list of Finance Committee of Board action items that all of them we had previously discussed. The only one that's not on the agenda above was the private resolution for private hydrant agreements. We have a draft letter put together that I'm waiting for Matt to finalize, and we're hoping to send these out to the owners of private hydrants to enter that agreement that we had previously drafted. So, but we need a resolution to authorize the entrance into those contracts.
Okay, great. Briggs, you have that? I didn't hear Elena on.
Yes. And I'm on.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
All right. Item 9, recycling center transfer station. The shared fuel system update. I'm happy to report that that project is 100% complete, and we are pending one final invoice on that though, but the work is complete and the system is fully operational, and we have a system in place for the billing. So hopefully that works out. We're going to do a trial run of the first invoice under use besides the initial fill next week. We'll have delivery. I'll come in and go through the process of how we're going to coordinate the billing between the different departments. But we have a plan in place. I think it's going to work well, but we'll see after that trial run next week. And spring recycling shred event on May 1st, or is proposed for May 1st. Denise, I think we had some conversation yesterday. Do we want to move that to the fall, or do we want to have 2 events, or what are we thinking at this point?
Seems to me with the goal was always to try to be able to do it in earlier spring, and we weren't able to do that because the company wasn't available. As we all know, with Earth Day and everything else in April, it's a busy time for them, and they just didn't have availability for us. We were going to move it to May. Baseball starts in May, and I think with the first year with the new configuration over there, I just didn't want to add to any more traffic or anything that could. We'll be getting used to how it works over there for a little while without the building in place. So we're going to move it to the first weekend in October. I know people are really looking forward to this. We'll get some word out to people so they can know when it is. I've been asked a dozen times already when we're going to do it. So we're looking to the first weekend in October, and Kathy is in the process of talking to the company. So thank you all for working on this.
They do have it open on October 2nd, Denise.
Terrific. So we'll move forward with that.
Right. And do we want to include the TV monitor recycle from e-waste as well with that?
We do. We get asked about that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll make sure we reach out to them to coordinate with them too, to make sure they're available on that date as well to help.
Terrific.
So, and then item C is this is kind of a newer one, so this is maybe a more open discussion. Our electric sign, that's kind of a shared use piece of equipment between police and rec and the water and sewer department. It just had a pretty substantial repair. It costed us $849.08. So what we were hoping to propose was a 3-way split to cover the cost of that repair between police, rec, and water and sewer. So that's just an idea that we're putting out there on how to cover those costs, since it's a shared use piece of equipment. So I'm kind of seeing what people's response is to that, if they're willing, or what we could do.
Josh, is that the big road sign?
It's the tow behind with the lights that you can program to read whatever you need for the event.
Yeah, the ones that we use for farmers market and all that stuff. Right? Yeah.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just
do you want to? Yeah, it's just the repairs. It's already paid for. They haven't been charging back for use for it, but just when we do have repairs on it. So Isbeth, do you want to work with Matt and Josh to get that all figured out?
I was just going to say that.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Ray, I heard your voice.
No, that's reasonable, because everybody has used it pretty much for any kind of events that we've had.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Okay, Ismet, fantastic. We can move forward with that. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Actually, if I could also ask Ray while he's right there, I saw you were doing some work down at the by the transfer station. How's that coming along?
Okay, I do have one question, Josh.
Yep.
Well, 2 actually. So last fall, I had asked if Pollard was done with the building. There's a pile of building supplies there from the restrooms being built.
Right.
That kind of needs to be removed. I really don't know what. I'm sure you want to keep some of that chip block for repairs or whatever, but can we have someone go through that and pick out what's good and scrap the rest?
Yeah. Yep. I will reach out to Pollard and our guys, and we'll get that site cleaned up so it's not in conflict with what you're trying to do.
Because that's kind of a starting point for drainage. Because I talked to Matt last year, and we want to be able to let the water drain off the fields in that area. So that's a great starting point.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Ray, that's excellent point. So Josh, can you make sure that that gets done? I mean, I think we sort of have a goal for over there for May 1st. So it's, Matt said something like 18 games are being played that day.
Yeah. Yep, I'll get right on that. I'll make sure that's cleaned up properly.
Okay, great.
Also,
Thank you.
where the concrete pad where the pumps were, Josh, is
Yeah.
all the electric dead there? Can we remove the pad?
That is 100% my understanding, but let me verify with Nick on our crew. He's the one that did the electrical work. I mean, to my knowledge, they had to pull it all off for the for that tank to be decommissioned. So I am confident in saying that it is, but I'll verify before we go hammering on it just to make sure.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to get that removed so we can get that outside perimeter blended in with the fence line of the
Great.
recycling center.
I'll have an answer for you on that this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for all your effort there, Ray, too. It's coming along nicely. We really appreciate that work.
Josh, one of my recommendations there in being in there yesterday, I'd like to use road fabric to stabilize the area. I had a lot of soft spots, and if that's going to stay crush or run for a period of time, I would recommend road fabric in there to stabilize. My plans are to use.
Yeah, really looking great.
I have millings out back that I've been saving for years. I think it would make a good sub base, and then we need to cap over the millings with probably, I'm thinking 4 to 5 inches of millings and then 3 inches of crusher run to establish a parking lot. And I think that will put us in a position kind of like Zenner Road parking lot is. It'll stay hard and it'll stay so we can paint lines on it and such.
Yeah, that sounds appropriate to me.
Okay. All right. I'll move forward with that.
Great. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you, Ray.
All right.
Yep.
Final item, stormwater and drainage, just to announce that we had officially signed the contract for a grant that we had received for $50,000 to create a stormwater educational video for the really for the county and for the Mohawk watershed. So we're really excited about that project. I'm working with the Schenectady County Water Quality Coordinating Committee. They were the ones that helped me put together the application for this project, and will be doing the legwork with me to complete this task. We do have an initial $25,000 that they will provide upon a request to kick off the project, and then it's reimbursement from there. So we'll have to figure out the reimbursement side in the interim. But we're very excited for this project. We wanted just to state that we have entered that contract.
Excellent. Thank you.
And
it's a big deal,
and
it's a big accomplishment for you personally and for the town. So thank you very much, Josh, for all your work on it. And it's extra work. We know that, but thank you for doing it.
But it's for a good cause, and we're excited for it. So
excellent.
Next meeting, May 6th. Does that sound good for everybody at 8:30?
Sounds great. See everybody
then. I don't know how I did it, but I got through this meeting in less than 20 minutes.
I think one time Laura didn't come to one of her meetings, and that meeting was like 10 minutes. I don't know. So when Jeff Twitty did it or something. So thank you very much. Excellent work. I appreciate you helping run the meeting today. And to everybody else, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next month.
Sounds good. Thank you.